everyone, welcome to another Music Talk Tuesday, and today I thought it would be interesting to kind of go into something that I believe is not so good, since yesterday I discussed Die Hard. Got it mixed up with Braveheart there. I don't know why, but I think it's because Mel Gibson and Bruce Willis kind of have that similar persona. But regardless, let's talk about the worst holiday songs. Yeah, worst holiday songs. This is an interesting topic because I know there's a lot of renditions to various Christmas and holiday songs throughout the years. And hardly anybody tries to make their own Christmas songs. And I think there's sort of a reasoning for that. There's almost a timeless aspect to certain Christmas songs, and I think it's sort of hard to match, especially in this day and age. So when current pop stars, or at least recent pop stars, have tried to make their own Christmas songs over the years, it really didn't turn out all that successful, or at least all that well done, at least in my opinion. So I'm gonna kind of go over my thoughts on this topic and sort of give you my worst out of all of these Christmas songs that came out that were trying to be somewhat original, but I think kind of failed in doing so. So let's start with one that is fairly interesting in that it's very strange. And that's Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Yes, this song. This one in particular, I think, bothers me because it kind of doesn't know what it wants to be. On the one hand, it sounds very dreary. It has that country kind of folk sadness going for it. But at the same time, it's trying to present itself as comedical by having sort of a ridiculous scenario within the lyrics. And yes, the ridiculous scenario within the lyrics is pretty much the title, Grandma Got Ran Over by Reindeer. And this did seem a little bit funny and just weird growing up in my childhood. But now that I look back on it, I really honestly cannot get into the song. And I don't even think I really got into the song initially when it came out, but I just think my initial reaction to the title was kind of, oh, they're trying to be funny. But really, when you deep down listen and analyze the song, it's very just it's really the strangest Christmas song I've ever heard. Like it is beyond weird. Again, there have been weird Christmas songs over the years, like Baby It's Cold Outside. I mean, that one has some weird stuff going for it. But this one just takes it to like that whole nother level by making it very just odd. Especially with its composition and its lyrics. It sounds also, I think, very boring. It's very sluggish. It has this very monotone voice. At least for the vocalist, has this really just draining and unpleasant sound. Um, and it really doesn't give off a funny or interesting effect. It just feels very dull and just dated and kind of just awkward, and you really don't know what the song was intended for and what the purpose really was of the song, if it was meant to be funny or if it was meant to be taken seriously. Because again, there is sort of this irony to it. And some people could say that that irony makes the song work, but I really honestly feel that this it works to the song's disadvantage because when you want to make a Christmas song, you want to go for at least some idea as and clarity. Um, you want to either make it magical, whimsical, or you want to make it um, very relaxing and soothing and peaceful, But here it's like, Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Oh, okay. you know. So I think definitely this song was just, oh gosh, it just it just doesn't work. I think for me, it's probably one of the again I think it is one of the worst because it um, remained continuous and was almost trying to be original song. But at the same time, I don't think there's a whole lot to this song. Um, and it's just kind of weird and doesn't really offer you much instrumentally or vocally or comically. Like it's just weird. It's really a bizarre Christmas song, and I kind of it kind of rubs me the wrong way. So that's why this song is on the list. And I'm sure there's those that disagree, but I feel like this song just really it just kind of crawls underneath my skin and wants to stay there, and I just kind of want to pry it out. Because after hearing it, I'm just like, I must clean myself with tea. Um, but I think ultimately that's all I can say about that song, and as to why I think it's probably one of the worst. I just don't think it brought anything to the table in regards to Christmas or anything funny or original. So that's all I think I can say about that song. Now the next song, oh, this next song is hilariously awful. Like just it's god awful in my opinion. It's just the epitome of horrible, horrible, horrible renditions of Christmas music. Now this one is sort of original because it's trying to be another song, but at the same time it's trying to be its own song. So it's sort of confusing in that sense. But this song is by Destiny's Child out of all band groups, and it's called the 8 Days of Christmas. Yes, they are trying to do a 12 Days of Christmas song, but they put the 8 days in there so it would sound somewhat original, and it kind of doesn't really resemble um, the 12 Days of Christmas, except the tempo is very fast and quick, like the 12 Days of Christmas is. And oh my gosh, this is just, this is just unbelievable. I don't know where to begin. The instrumentals, they're nothing. They bring nothing to the table, in regards to the song. Uh, at least um, other musicians that have tried to do this 12 Days of Christmas have sort of stayed true to the instrumentals, but here they are not used well at all. Like you don't even feel like they're instrumentals. They're just that bad. So they just really fade you off in the background and or just fade off in the background, and you don't even hear what's really going on with the instrumentals. So it's just it just has nothing there. Um, the singers of Destiny's Child don't sound like they're singing or even rapping. They sound like they're just talking um, while trying to sing in a rap. So they're trying to sort of, I guess, rap the whole 12 Days of Christmas because you know how it's supposed to be very quick. But see, the thing is when even if you're doing it really fast, you maintain a level of being able to sing. Like you can see this with other renditions that have tried to do this one. You know, they've usually stayed true with the pace, but at the same time, the vocals um, were done in a way that even though they were fast, you still felt like it was somebody trying to sing a song, not somebody tried to talk speed it the whole way through. And that's literally what this song sounds like. And the thing is too is since it's technically a parody, or technically like not really the original 12 Days of Christmas, by putting in the 8 Days of Christmas, we get new lyrics because of that. And the lyrics are just kind of, I almost want to say it's hard to tell the lyrics because again they're going so fast, but they're not really singing it or even really rapping it. So to really put it to my audience short, basically they kind of just put in things that I guess um, people would want on Christmas. Like that's kind of their replacement, um, which is kind of odd. It's a little strange because the original song, "The 12 Days of Christmas," there was some kind of cultural significance attached to the original lyrics. Again, that resembled what Christmas was to those who grew up in the time when the song was written. You know, it was supposed to reflect, you know, the things that people would watch during that era, but sort of in a way that was reflected upon the culture, um, and what people would expect to get on Christmas. But here it seems like they're just talking about random stuff that people would maybe want for Christmas. And it just it just doesn't jive well, at least for me, especially since I'm not a big Black Friday fan. So yeah, I just think that it that puts the song onto a whole nother level of just bad. So yeah, I would really recommend skipping this one if you can. If you can avoid it at all costs, I would, because it just has nothing to offer. I'm sorry, but there's nothing. So, but that's all I think I can say about that one. But again, it's sort of different to Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer because unlike being odd, it just fails at everything that it's sort of trying to do. Um, so yeah, I guess, you know, I think it pretty much speaks for itself if you just listen to it. Now, the next song that I wanted to briefly talk about is an NSYNC song. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Oh, yes, this song. Oh, isn't this song happy? Isn't this song so happy? Like, look at my cheeks. They're so full of life now because of this song. Because this song is so happy. That's literally how it is throughout the entire song. They are just so overpowered with cheese and happiness. And okay, I understand you're happy and that it's Christmas and that yes, Christmas is supposed to be a happy time of year. But but it's still Christmas songs that are actually, I think, good. Don't try to put the cheese onto a whole nother level where it becomes um, just sort of pandering to the audience, and kind of, you know, shoving it down, the happiness down our throat. Um, it's just that's kind of the issue that I have with this song. It's just so unbelievably cheesy, and it just takes it to that whole other level. Um, and again, it has that sort of generic pop sound to it. Um, and even though again I'm not really a huge fan of NSYNC, I felt that at least maybe some of their other songs at least tried to grasp at least a little bit of um, of interest in regards to putting out different emotions. But here, it's just complete smiles all the way through, just like, ha, look, it's Christmas. We're so happy. Woo. And I just, it's just very, it's, it's just on the level I think that High School Musical was. It's just that cheesy, smiley, happy pandering that it puts out to the audience, and that really doesn't work for me. I really do prefer the Christmas songs who take their audience at least a little bit more seriously, or when they're happy, they're whimsical and fluffy and light. They're not this overpowering of, yeah, let's smile because it's Christmas, you know? It's just, and then with this crazy, green screen in the background and them riding on a sleigh, and then it was so weird. In the beginning of the video, Santa, for some reason's not feeling well. I don't know, I think he has like stomach problems or something. It's so strange. And it's just so overblown with just how much it tries to shove it in your face that I can't enjoy it. I just can't listen to it. I can't sit back and be like, yay, it's Christmas. I'm just like, oh God, it's trying to hurt my cheeks, isn't it? Because of all the schmaltz. So it's very, very over schmaltzy, this song, in how it tries to pander to the audience in that way. And to be honest, I just can't get into it. I just can't. I just can't like it. Um, I think it's one of the worst that I've heard over the years because it just is so ridiculously, um, just it's just too happy. It's not a realistic feel for what Christmas is. It feels like the hallmark of what Christmas is, just kind of like, so that's why I can't really, I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't stand the song. Um, but yeah, I think that's all that I can say. Now, the next one, I kind of don't want to mention the artist's name because I know he's been gone over extensively, and I know that people really don't like this particular um, artist, although he has a very faithful fan base, I'm sure, still. But I think he does have ownership in regards to my worst list. I wouldn't say ownership, but he has some rights to be in this list because there's just so much pandering in this. And it takes it onto, I think, a different level than what the NSYNC song tries to do. And that song is Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. Yes, I'm gonna bring up a Justin Bieber song, but please hear me out here. I think this song um really, really tries to pander to the fan base in a way that I think makes it so that this song can't really be a Christmas song because you could just insert other lyrics in there and put in a totally different holiday or totally different time. You could have Justin Bieber walking around in a bunny suit saying that he wants, every girl to be his little fluffy bunny or something. And you would still get the same results. So what does Mistletoe do that is on the sort of similar level of kind of corporate panning that um, or pandering that NSYNC was doing? Well, it panders to the fan base because, again, the song is about having somebody under the mistletoe. So again, trying to get all of those little girls to be like Bieber swoon and go bonkers. Also, not only does the song pander to its audience on that level by trying to make it a love song that is somehow related to Christmas because we inserted mistletoe in there, it's very generic. It is unbelievably like, it has that same generic kind of pop level that NSYNC offered, but on top of that, it tries to put in bells within the song. Like pretty much throughout the entire song, you hear like bells in the background, and I'm just thinking to myself, they're not even trying. They're not even incorporating the bells anywhere. They're just throwing them at the audience and saying, look, there's bells. It's Christmas. Woo! We're putting bells in the background so that you know that it's Christmas. Because if it wasn't snowing and there wasn't any bells, you wouldn't know that this is a Christmas song. And yeah, it doesn't really reflect onto things that, again, relate to Christmas. Like it's because it focuses in on trying to again appeal to that that audience that Justin Bieber knows. But heck, I have to say they know who they're selling. He knows who he's selling to now. He knows who his audience is. I'm glad that he figured it out. But I mean this song, him trying to do an original Christmas song is just, ooh, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't benefit him, I think. And again, I think a lot of the times it's really designed for people to cash in on getting some publicity. And I think this is really what Justin Bieber was going for. He was trying to generate some publicity from Christmas. And we see that too when he tries to do a duet thing with Mariah Carey. I think he does that later on, actually. But yeah, it's the same kind of, corporate, cheesy smulch that is very generic and doesn't very much amount to anything, because it doesn't really reflect on what Christmas is all about, and it doesn't even really reflect on the love. It kind of just reflects on how Justin Bieber's sort of messing up and and not doing things that you should be talking about in a Christmas song. So it's just, it just doesn't work lyrically, instrumentally. It just doesn't work on all those levels. And unfortunately, this is probably one of the worst. I think it's one of the worst that I've heard. I'm sorry, anybody who is a JB fan out there. That's not to slam against you, but personally, I just can't stand it. I just can't stand it. So last one that we're gonna talk about, last worst one, to get out all my rage of songs that try to be original but probably would be better left on the desk of where the writer was trying to make a song. So this last one is by Alvin and the Chipmunks, no less, and it's the Christmas song. Oh yeah, this one I think is a well-known one by a lot of people, and I think there's a lot of people who do enjoy it. But to be honest, ooh, this one just rubs me the wrong way. It's also known as the Chipmunk song, by the way, or technically it's called the Chipmunk song, and then they insert in Christmas at the end. But man, does this song bother me. It has a very repetitive nature to it. The only positive thing I can say about this song is that it's short, so it doesn't go on and on and on um for an extensive amount of time of a song, but it does have a very repetitive nature to it when you listen to it instrumentally. Um, the voices of the chipmunks are just they're just so overly squeaky. Um, some people think it's cute, but I honestly don't find it cute. I find it just very I just find it kind of obnoxious, and it's just very overdone because they are pretty much singing throughout the entire song. Um, and I think it's only I think children in particular like this one because it's sort of appealing to that cartoon aspect to it, because you have those little cute little chipmunks that are supposed to be cute, but I think their voices have overstayed their welcome, especially with their films too, like the CGI ones. Like, oh my. Again, I think this one really was just trying so hard to be cute, but I think it just comes off as very, very, very annoying. I just feel like it's the voices, it's the fact that the instrumentals aren't really all that much. They just kind of repeat themselves, and it's just kind of it just feels like a song that's just there. It doesn't feel like a Christmas song. Um, I mean, all they're really talking about is how they don't want Christmas to be late, you know, and that they want sort of um, Christmas to come, and it doesn't provide a great sense of mood or atmosphere. It's just very cheery, and it's just I guess again the word I could describe it is it's just kind of just generic. And again, it's not really all that long of a song. It's so short too. I'm just thinking to myself, how can this be considered a song? It's not even all that long, and even then, it repeats a lot of the kinds of instrumentals. And again, it doesn't really feel like a song. And oh, it's just it just kind of bothers me. It grinds my ears a little. Um, but yeah, I think that's really ultimately all I can say about the songs that really do bother me, and the ones that I do think are the worst out of the Christmas song, or out of the, excuse me, holiday songs, because again, some of them are a little bit more holiday, although I think more of Christmas related, but still, a lot of them do bring in this feel of just they don't make me think of happy, whimsical, um, joyous thoughts. They make me want to kind of just, um, they make me not want to listen to Christmas music. But again, I understand that there's a lot of songs that have been overplayed over the years. But personally, I think artists can bring, or at least try to bring, in new material. I mean, like one of Coldplay's songs I thought was actually pretty good. That was a Christmas song, and it was actually an original song. But these ones do not, I think, offer a whole lot to the table. And um, they're really not incorporated well into the sort of I guess genre you could say of holiday songs, because again that's pretty much a whole genre within itself, since there's so many songs and so many renditions of the same songs. And I know that some people can get mad at certain ones that are overplayed, but I don't think that necessarily makes them bad songs. I just think that there's been an extensive overplay of all of these old-timey songs because nobody came out with anything original or new. And these ones definitely, I don't think, impress me as replacements. Definitely not. Not even trying trying. But I think that's ultimately really all I can say about them without hurting my ears anymore. But if there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I totally understand if you have a different view on this. I'd be more than happy to hear it out, or hear you out. But I think that's really all I can say. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and a joyous holiday season. Take care. Bye-bye.